Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to TSO Crypto, your home for crypto TA. I am your host Mark, and today we're gonna be looking at the same title we've been looking at for the past couple days. Will Bitcoin keep dropping? For some reason I can't change the stream settings and it's not allowing me to update that. Oh yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, it's really weird. So with that in mind, let's get rolling and see what's happening with crypto again. Sorry not being here yesterday. I just completely got knocked out. I was like passed out, like 100%. I was like, just rested for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna take a quick nap. And then I just woke up today. I was like, yeah. I was, like I told you guys, I've been really tired. And it was just one of those things where it was bound to happen eventually. But yeah, I got some good rest. So, hey, kudos. Let's get rolling with crypto and see what's going on. Again, broke into the triangle to the downside. Still at support right down here, right? 2.25 trillion. And trying to hold. It's key for us to hold, otherwise we're looking at 2.05, right? And we want this bullish divergence to show more strength. Now on the daily, as far as the daily is concerned, we don't have anything here that is bearish, right? So with that into account, what we're looking at is it was in here, positive, less positive, coming in lower, so nothing bearish, right? We're looking for the bullish to hold on and help us rally still. Now, if we can look at this as a larger, right, larger structure, that just could be coming in here, forming this downwards looking thing, right? So downwards looking. It's on my channel. I'm not gonna say it's a full channel, right? But it's more like a, if we zoom out quite a bit, it's gonna look like a very, very large fallen wedge. We could interpret it as a channel. I just don't think it's gonna look really, really good, or we're not gonna get the exact touch points if we were to do a channel, but we could try it out. But we'll look at this and just grant those touch points there. If I go here, then this one's not quite there touching, but we get a channel. We can say fallen wedge, any kind of formation that is down sloping. Those ones tend to bring consolidation and potential break back up to the upside. Now, there's something I want to share with you guys before I go actually into looking at Bitcoin. I just gotta find this thing. If I'm not mistaken, it was something that Peter Brand posted. I'm not sure if I even mentioned it, but let's see. He posted something regarding Bitcoin. And I just thought it was interesting. So I just gotta find the post that he had made, and it was something pointing towards his, like, you know, website for an article as to whether or not we had topped in the cycles and the diminishing, you know, what's the law called, diminishing returns, not diminishing returns, something like every cycle we go up, we're just not making as much percentage gains, right? I just thought it was an interesting article, and that's what I'm trying to find. Let me see. So it's not finding it. That kind of sucks. But I know I did see it. And was it on his website? Maybe it wasn't his website and I'm just kind of like missing out on it. It was a public blog post about it. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. All right, so I want to bring this in. I just want to discuss this briefly. I think he makes some valid points, and that's the reason why I want to bring it in. So it's called the factor report, and basically what he's stating here, right? Oh, hell's no, dude, I'm not gonna sign up. All right, so basically exponential decay, right? Basically means that every time we're going higher, it's not going as high as it used to be. So he's basically saying December 2009, right? It got a 3,191x advance, right, on the rally. Then on 2011 was a 572. Right, then August 17 it was 122. Then 2018 2021 was a 22 advance, and right now I said the highest we've gotten is 73,800. Right now, the magnitude from 2011 2013, right, this one is 20% of the 2009 2011 cycle, right? 2015 2017, right? So this one, 20% of the 2011 2013 cycle. 2018-21, right? 20% of the 15 to 17 cycle, right? So if that's what's to hold right? And we're looking at something similar. He's saying that 4.5x estimate should be somewhere around 70,723, and we're obviously way above there, right? So we know the highest point we got into was 73,000 and change. I can't remember where we saw it. We already know it's much higher than that. So with that into account, right, oh, here it is, 73,835. So with that into account, it would seem to state that Bitcoin has kind of topped for the cycle. The question is, do we believe that's what's at play, right? And I'm not buying it 100%, right? I think that's not what's at play. But, you know, where Bitcoin's at right now and how's performing this last couple of weeks, and seeing that we're not pushing for higher prices right now, and that we had a triangle formation and we broke it to the downside, and we had some indicators that could suggest we still got downwards motion to go, it could certainly lend itself to the belief that Bitcoin is not going where it's supposed to go, and that we could, in theory, have topped out, right? So, and basically, he's doing the same thing. He says, I don't want to believe that, but the data speaks for itself. Yeah, I'm on that same boat. That, you know, I want to be hopeful that there's still room for this to go. It's just not. It's not going, you know, the way it's supposed to, I believe. Right? We're just seeing something that is not the case. We should have seen a lot more movement up on market cap, right? We're to bring this out. Last time that we had the run, there was a higher influx of money. He's not taking into account that. He's just looking at the price of Bitcoin, right? So when we look at this data and we see there was a bigger influx of money and we went to a $3 trillion asset class for crypto, that would lead to the case that there's still room for us to go and grow and price for it to go up, right? That I would want to believe that we could still go higher in market cap, and that's going to increase the price of Bitcoin on other crypto assets. I think that's a valid point to counter the argument that, you know, Peter's doing by just looking at Bitcoin data, right? And I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's an interesting correlation. With that into account, let's go check out Bitcoin, right, and see how it's doing. Bitcoin currently at 62,992 on the daily. Gonna wait for it to load briefly. Tristan, how's it going, my friend? Thank you very much for joining us today. All right, man. I'm just waiting for it to take its sweet time to load, man. There we go. So with Bitcoin on the daily, similar to market cap, right? We have the bullish divergence. We have nothing else bearish overhead. Yet it seems that we're not strong enough to rally, right? Is it that the market is exhausted? Is it that the buyers are tired from the last push and we're taking a breather, right? That could very well be the case. Bitcoin, if we zoom out and we're to draw the same lines we drew for market cap, right? You're going to see that here, that channel is going to look even less like a channel. Here, you're going to be able to definitely see how far off we are, right? With market cap, we're like down here. It's just like a bottom wedge. But when we're looking at this, it's just like, this we could say it's a falling wedge. It's not a downsloping channel. And the reason being is that if we were to draw a line here, right, this bullish divergence would be our bottom line of that wedge. And we'll just be creating that formation. Again, downsloping consolidation usually tends to break to the upside. That's what we could be expecting to see. Hi, Sakmar. How's it going? Thank you very much for being in. And yes, thank God it's Friday. Finally. Going back down again after hitting rejection of the 66,994 to support, right? We talked about this. If we were to move down, we're probably going to go to support at 60,423. If we were to move up, we're probably going to very likely be targeting the 69,000, right? 69,000. So with this into account and the fact that there's really nothing else developing on the daily and we're just seeing weakness overall as a rally, right? It just tells me to be a little bit cautious, right? So I'm going to go to the 4 hour. Sorry, before I do the 4 hour, where can we go if we drop farther? Well, if we drop farther, we're going to go for the measure move, right? At 55,654. That would be the next target. Not a lot of history in this zone. That's why breaking below 62,423, it's a it puts us into that uncharted territory where it drops really fast. There's really not a lot. Look, when we push back up, it was fast. Last time when we did it, like back here, right? It was fast. It was like boop, drop, maybe something here, but not a lot to generate any kind of strong line. And then finally get above that area. Look at this. Push right through, right? And then fell right back down. Kind of held support there briefly, and then finally crashed through. So when we look at this and we see the fact that we just run this channel really fast, it's basically telling us the same thing. Once we drop, we could try to come here and do like some kind of bounce before we drop farther, or down back here, do some kind of bounce before we look for a rally. Okay, that's what's in store for Bitcoin. So let's go to the 4-hour real quick. 4-hour had the inverse head and shoulder measure move hit. Talked about that. Congrats, pat ourselves on the back. Now when we come in here, we had last thing, bearish divergence, strong, right? Potential for a movement down. And we are getting the movement down, right? We are getting that motion downwards to support. Now, the thing is, this support has to hold. And we can see that we've almost hit it spot on. If we go here, the lowest point, 62,411. I have the line at 60,423. Like, you know, a couple dollars off on a $60,000+ move. Like less than $10, around $12 off. It's not real. So this into account, looking for the movement down, have the bullish divergence, right? And with that, we just have it against the MACD. And it would let us know that there's a possibility for a reversal to happen, which would be a good thing. Now, the thing about this move, it is strong bullish, right? Which would tell us that the trend's looking for a shift, a change. However, I could definitely see Bitcoin being at this price level and not still having the bullish divergence strong, right? Just laying it out there because it might be the case. But for now, it's bullish divergence strong. It would imply a movement up on price. And that's something I would love to see, particularly heading over towards the weekend, because then, you know, it's going to be an easy weekend. But that's what we have in store. Now, if we go to the 1-hour chart, man, just waiting for it to load. There we go. All right, so we had the triangle. Remember, we had this triangle up here, moved down, broke that support, right? We kind of held it once, broke it. Then became a resistance. Come back down here, held once. Now, you know, we're just channeling, and we know there's something around here that we're looking for. That is on the daily and the 4-hour, but it's not on the 1-hour. And is that other line that we had here. Now, for here, is there anything that can come and kind of help us out? And the answer is going to be a yes. There is bullish divergence. It's not against the MACD, though. It's just against the RSI. So with this into account, right, and when we get this divergence, I just got to be very clear that it's barely there, man. Like, if we zoom in here, that's from here to here. It is there, right? Doesn't mean it's not going to play. But this is what we have. And this is what we're trying to hold on to get our motion to the upside. As you can see, the last two candles happening on the green. We're definitely looking for a recovery. We must get above 63,600, 63,677. Ultimately, we want to get above 64,900 and then 60,994. Those are the targets for us to get above. The main targets, the yellow and the white line. Okay. The other ones might be minor resistances as we move up. Hopefully, we're able to do it and we can stop kind of like the bleeding effect that Bitcoin's having towards the weekend. Because if we start dropping and we break the daily support, again, it's not going to be a fun weekend, right? We could definitely see a massive drop coming in or preparing over for the next week. All right, so be careful of that, be mindful of that. Hopefully we get this to hold, and we're looking for that nice movement up, right? So with all that into account, let's go check out Ethereum, and I think we're going to be seeing something extremely similar in Ethereum. Because we know Ethereum's following Bitcoin to some extent. Ethereum's sitting at 3,122. And I'm just going to wait for it to load. We know there's really not a lot bearish going on here. Now that we've kept on developing this positive momentum, I'm really going to zoom in here and just make sure we don't have it. But I just got to wait for that chart to load. For some reason, Ethereum takes forever, man. There we go. All right. So let's do this. Oof. I really need to look at this. 8.4. 7 and 7. So slightly lower, right? That's 7 point something, 7.8. That's 8.4 here. I'm looking at the green number that's going to be showing up here, right? So yeah, 8.4, 7.8, 7.9. So lower positive momentum, less positive momentum as we're lower in price. So nothing bearish, which is good. The thing is that the bullishness that we have is not playing out with a lot of strength, right? I hate the fact that we're below 3,158. That's a key support that we're going to have to hold on to after we broke it, right? You can see that hit, right? Finally broke it, failed to hold it. Here we bounced right on it. Rejection and rejection, right? That's where we're moving down. Now, upon that rejection, the theory is that we should come down to 2,891, and that would set up for like a red weekend, right? But if Bitcoin can manage to hold on to the bullish divergence as it's developing on the 4-hour, we might be able to see Ethereum right to go up, get above the 3,158, right? And I think the 4-hour and the 1-hour kind of give us a better clue as to whether or not that's something we can expect. Now, we're looking for the bearish divergence. We did move down. And remember, I drew this line and I told you guys it's a trade line support that we didn't want to hold, otherwise we're in a bear trend for the short term. Look at that. Bearish divergence still held. You know, we're in here to draw it, but we're already looking for it, right? Broke the trend line support. And once we broke it, we just went bearish for it. And we're still like, yeah, struggling to get back above, right? Here, Bitcoin had some bullishness. We don't have it here, right? But with that into account, there's really nothing bullish holding us on for Ethereum. We're just holding because Bitcoin hasn't dropped more. Now, if Bitcoin stagnates, Bitcoin could take advantage of this move and drop down to the support at 2,891. Not necessarily what we want to see, but potentially what could happen, right? And that's a reality. We got to set our hopes and expectations in reality. Now, the other thing that could happen is we get above 3,158 if the 1-hour has something that could be bullish. And then we're looking for 3,324, right? Those are the moves. All right, so Ethereum, dude, on the 1-hour, what are we doing? We had bearish divergence. When you were looking for moving down, we got our moving down. Still within the same island, right? Or we could even just go from there to there, and then, you know, we still have that divergence. That's still holding to here if you want to. And this is going from one island to the next, and that's bearish divergence. Strong, we already knew it. Broke down on it, right? And it was a quick drop, right? The divergence kicked in, particularly when we broke the trend line support from the 4-hour. Right, so not a fun trade. Now, there was bullish divergence developing here, and we tried to rally, but ultimately we failed because we're definitely creating some hidden bearish. Now, I'm going to draw all this thing so you guys know what I'm talking about, because, you know, you might be like, what the heck is this guy saying? It makes no sense. Well, don't worry, we got check covered. So we're looking at these moves here, right? Bullish divergence here. Hidden bearish up here, right? So that hidden bearish is coming like that. It could come from here. It could come from here. In all fairness, we should be anchoring here, but, you know, for purposes of argument, we're just going to anchor it here. And it'll be the same thing, bearish divergence and hidden, and that's putting pressure on the price. This island, although it's a valid set of data here, it's not really adding a lot of value to the story of the reality of what we're seeing. That's why I'm saying the hidden divergence is definitely there. If it could be that if we look at another exchange, this is not there, right? It's on this exchange. We would need to confirm it with a different exchange. And what we're looking at here, let's see, going up higher. There's really nothing bullish right there, right? It's kind of the bullish divergence strong we had played. Hidden divergence came in, sunk us down, and that's that. Like, there's really nothing else happening since. We're just struggling to do something. Not a fun place to be, right? If you're holding crypto, if you're holding Bitcoin, if you're holding Ethereum, I would say there's a lot of uncertainty. Let's check out ADA real quick. All right, so ADA. Bullish divergence at the pop. I'll come back down on what? We don't have anything bearish. 4-hour, 1-hour might have something, but likely, like we've always stated, is just following Bitcoin, right? As the market, Bitcoin trends and the market trends with it, right? So Bitcoin sets the trend, the market moves with it. Going back down, really not a lot. We're looking for the 40.7 target again if we do move down. on a movement up, we're not going to have targets here, but I think we have something around the 50 on the shorter time scales. Ultimately looking for that 64. But here, look at that. Boom. All right. Bearish divergence. Move down. We had some hidden bullish. They were hoping it was going to hold. It didn't. You know, hidden bullish, we know it's weak. It's weaker than any strong, medium, and weak divergence. And it's fell into play. So what's still holding true is the bearish divergence strong. That tells us the bears are taking more control of the market and still pushing the price farther down. Now, if we go from the previous low, right, that'll be this island. Nothing bullish happening. We're sitting sold at 30.35 on the RSI. Not really where we want to be, but sold, at least it tells us the price is perceived to be lower than where it should be, and we should be looking for an increase. Now, we either increase by doing a quick pop, right? That's going to bring the RSI back up, or we trend sideways for a couple periods, and then this is slowly going to reset and come back to neutral, right? I'm thinking more of the latter, not the former, so more of a sideways motion, and this trends back up slightly. That's what it seems it wants to do, man, right? But not necessarily what it will do. Again, we had the bullish divergence here up to when we were live, I think, or somewhere on here. And yes, we got the nice quick pop afterwards, man. Just the market kept trending down because of the bearish divergence strong again. What we talked about down in the 4 hour, that's what's holding true here. As far as the move goes, right? If we want to trace this, that'll be the move, right? That's the line. And that line just happens to match up with the line here. And there we go, right? Neutral 40.38 right now. But we have bullish divergence strong. That would indicate a potential for a move up, right? We could be looking for some nice quick action to the upside, right? Hopefully we're going to get that motion. I would love to see ADA definitely taking a charge and moving higher with that bullish divergence. We're starting to see that happening, right? Just like what Bitcoin has. It's just the movement seems to be not as strong, right? Right now for this 1 hour, we're doing like a gravestone doji. Not really good. That's kind of like a bearish thing. We really need to get going again. We're 10 minutes into the hour. We still got a lot of time for a movement to happen. It's not liking what I'm seeing there. It's just showing weakness, right? All right, let's check out what else? We're gonna check out Shiv. Just because Shiv had a really nice setup, I think it's gonna be struggling. We're just gonna look at it on the daily. I just want a glimpse. Yeah, dude. Like, broke down in the triangle, hit the measure move, trying to bounce rejection of the upper limit of the triangle if we were to draw that line going. But I mean, not the worst. If we do move down, we're still looking for support at like 0.000.00021, right? And yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna go farther into this. The setup that was really good, it's not looking as hot, and that's because Bitcoin kind of tanked. And it brought the market down with it. All right, cool. So, gonna look at the dollar index real quick. Sitting at 106, man. Is it bouncing? It is bouncing at the line. Awesome. So we bounced at support. Now we're bouncing at our trend line, right? The neckline for the head and shoulders, right? The inverse head and shoulders. The dollar's looking like it could go all the way up here for the dollar index at 109. Now, we'll definitely love to see the dollar get some strength. That's going to make Bitcoin go down, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. The dollar gaining strength, it means at some point in time it has to drop, right? So when the dollar drops, Bitcoin's going to come into play. So if the dollar were to get this move up here, right, that will put Bitcoin at the 55,000 mark, right? Or the movement down that we're looking for. Very likely is going to correlate to that. And when this, goes back down, that's going to make Bitcoin like trail back up, and it could be trailing with a lot more strength, right? Just the dollar strengthening is getting people to move out of different assets and come back into, dollar, right? The cash. So that's what we're seeing happening here. Gold, yeah, all-time highs, dropped a little, right? We were tracking this divergence forever. Still 2,337, not a bad price. Now let's fib this one to see where we can go, because this is fibbable. There we go. We're bouncing on support at 236, right? 2,298. Now we may still be able to hold on to that. Right, not necessarily a bad line. Sorry, that's silver, dude. Did I move on silver? No, I'm still on gold. What happened to the other line that I had? I know I had a line there, dude. I'm like, oh, it wasn't the dollar. Never mind. Completely tripped on that one. We didn't have a line here. So, yeah, that's gold. Definitely looking for that moving down, hitting that support at 236, right? And it could get us to where we hold and try to bounce, or we might drop to a 382. But if we drop to at 382, we're going to have a double support. If we zoom farther out, like way out, right? We know that 2,234, right? I just need to find where that line comes from. Here we go, right? Like, is it? Where is it, dude? I know we have that line there because it happened to match up with something, and we were like targeting. I think it's a fib that we're going from high to low. That would be a target that we needed to, right? Because this looks like we were doing fibs to the upside. I just got to remember if that's the case. So that would have been from high to low here. Yeah, Anna, not sure, man. Why do I have a gold line up here, man? I'm trying to figure out like where I had it. Let's go on the weekly real quick. And it's not going to be there. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it was a fib line that we had drawn and left there for a potential resistance to have. Right. But yeah, not have it right now. With all that into account, it's because these are like equally spaced, right? From here to here and from here to here. So that's why I'm believing it's a fib. If we were to move down, we're going to have double support at 2,234. I believe that's a gold area where we could find a good strong balance before we look back out for gold. But again, if the dollar keeps on strengthening, and this hasn't been following the dollar strengthening, gold strengthen. But if the dollar keeps on strengthening, we might see gold start to take a hit, right? And ultimately start to trail the trend back down again. Let's look at silver. Silver hit 29. Did it hit 30? Did 29.7. That's a pretty amazing hit. But right now it's back in that below 28.30 and right in that range from 26.14. It's a large range, but that is a fib, right? That's the previous 100% high that we have here. And we definitely want to get above that area, dude. For silver to keep on trailing and potentially go to where the prices it had back in like 2012, right? 2011, 2012. We definitely want to see this running higher. Now, I'm just going to go back to gold because I'm curious if gold had something at that point in time. So it's not the levels I have drawn. All right, so I can't remember where I got those fibs from, but I know I got these lines fibs from somewhere. There's blue and there's yellow. Alrighty. Yeah, let's go back to the corn. Then we're gonna be calling a stream for tonight, guys. It's Friday. It's been a good week. Overall, amazing week. Can't complain. And with that into account, guys, I'm going to be calling it a stream for tonight. I'll catch you again tomorrow for another edition. Not tomorrow, Monday for another edition of TSO Crypto. I wish you have an amazing weekend. Happy trading if you're going to be trading on the weekend. I wouldn't. I'm not going to be trading. I think I'm going to be waiting for something to settle. Right? And get a trending move happening for me to make a decision. Like if we drop, then yeah, maybe try to get a position in around this level. And we still rally, maybe offload some crypto. But depending on how the move goes, maybe hold on if I believe it could go to a higher portion or a higher position or in price. And with all that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again Monday for another edition of TSO Crypto. Until then.